that she had in the scenario. So, what are we talking about today? The appointment is the game. Okay. I thought this was a good one. There's some. I'm always looking for different ideas on coaching moments, and I was playing around with AI, and it spit out 500 of them, and I was like, let's do this one. And so there's some stuff in here that I think is kind of like a little bit of fluff, but there's some good things in here. So pay attention. We're gonna dive in. All right. What is the goal of the conversation? Is it to prove how smart you are? Hence, I put a line through it. Thank you, Tex. No, it's not about proving how smart you are. Although, young Chase, when I first worked for the builder, they walk in and I'm like, I'm going to show you that I know every floor plan front and back. And I'm going to make you look at every one of them before I show you where the bathrooms are. They literally came in to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, nope, you're going to look at 15 floor plans and 7 subdivisions. That's not the objective, right? Is it answering every single question, market question? This is actually where I think a lot of people will be like, yeah, I want to answer all their questions. Right? Exhaustive answers do not create commitment. Is it explaining every financing or listing strategy? Over explaining removes the need for a meeting. So the real goal is to build enough trust to secure the next step. And the next step is what? Only Megan gets it. The only person that's not a salesperson here gets it. It's the appointment. All right. So the value disappearance trap. How many of you have had amazing conversations with people and answered all their questions and taken extremely good care of them, and then they disappear? Yeah. Only 2 people willing to admit it here. I have hundreds of those scenarios personally.
30-minute conversation.
Yeah, you're like, holy shit! I just got off the phone with the best client ever. It was amazing.
It's a shoe.
Yeah. These guys are gonna buy like 70 homes from me.
Definitely.
And then all of a sudden, like, you never hear from them again. What's really happening is overhelping can remove the need for an appointment. And this is where like the AI crowd comes in. But here's what I want to elaborate on this. A lot of times, if they think they've gotten all the information and all the value you offer, okay, then they don't think there's any other reason to meet with you. You guys get it? You've got to leave some meat on the bone. You have to have a purpose for them getting with you. And that's effectively what the next like 20 minutes is going to be. Is that. All right. So the core confusion, being helpful, is answering every question thoroughly. Being effective is guiding the client to a committed next step. So you guys have to know that when you're going into a conversation, I don't know, house, or you're in money time bond, or you get a sign call, or you get a referral. You guys have to understand what your goal is in having a conversation with them. It's not to answer all their questions. I think that's a very common misconception. I met Josh at the real estate school. If I went into the real estate school and I said, as a real estate agent, should you answer all your clients' questions? What do you think everyone would say?
Yes.
Yeah, I think if I went into anything, they would all say that. The problem is the client doesn't know what the right process is. We can't have them leading us. We need to lead them. And I can tell you, like, you could sell homes without ever meeting with people. I have. It's just not very common. It's not a great way to build your business. So what happens at the appointment, you guys know this, but you're building trust. The face-to-face is massive over a phone call or a text. The objections can become way more clear. 55% of communication is body language, right? You get 2 decision makers in one room, you ask a question, you can see like one of them do something, it might give you more insight into some of the objections that you're not even hearing. Deep motivation gets uncovered. A lot of you guys struggle to ask get into depth around motivation. but you don't have a problem with it when you get in front of them. So get in front of them. And then, of course, the timelines become real because they're already taking the process, right? Making a phone call is not starting the process in the buyer or the seller's mind. It doesn't really start until they sit down with you guys. Would you guys agree? That's when it becomes real. All right, so here's an example. Agent spends 25 minutes on the phone explaining rates, closing costs, inspection. Buyer leaves the call feeling great, informed, confident, and grateful. The result, the buyer gets just enough data to keep looking on their own. Value without direction creates wandering. I actually love this. If you're giving value, but you're not giving the client direction, what do I mean by not giving them direction? What do you think I'm talking about?
Well, we got some more next steps.
Yeah, like they don't know the steps, guys. If they want to buy or sell a home, one of the steps is what?
Meeting with your
It's
agent.
meeting with an agent. It's actually meeting with you, right?
That's when they wander his open house and bring an offer that day.
Yeah. Call out floor. Someone walks in an open house and buys the house. It's because all those agents did such a great job for me before they came to my house. Did such a great job. All right. Why agents wait too long? So waiting for the client to ask. I think this is actually a very real thing. Agents hold back, expecting the client to request a meeting on their own, except for it almost never happens. Right? You guys sit there, you have great conversations, everything's good. Well, talk to you soon. Are we nervously laughing here? Like I'm really nervous laughter in here.
It's guilty laughter. That's what it is.
A lot of us think more questions must be answered. They're just not ready yet because I haven't answered enough of their questions. So they need time to think about it, right? You do not have to have exhaustive Q&A. And then, of course, you think you must prove yourself all the time. I think a lot of people, especially young people or new real estate agents, I think they fall into this trap a lot.
So.
They feel like I have to prove to them why they would use me. And a lot of them just think, like, why would someone use me? Right? Like, we're just sitting there like, why do they use me? There's so many great agents out there. Look at so-and-so. Good Kara or Rebecca or Teresa or some of these other agents on our team that are crushing it. Tracy. Right? It's like, look at these people. Why would they ever work with me? The reality is clients are not going to lead themselves. It's your job to lead them. It's our job. We've got to lead them. A confused client asks more questions. A clear agent creates the next step. All right. So this is just giving you like 4 steps on how to go through your conversations. I know for most of you guys have heard different versions of this a lot, but the first step is you got to connect. Lower the resistance with warm openers, obviously rapport building, right? The second step's clarifying, ask questions to find out the real issue. I like this, start like a human. Okay, that's probably my number 1 advice for a brand new agent is you don't know what to say about real estate, but you do know how to have conversations. So have conversations and then figure the real estate stuff out later. And know, by the way, while you're having conversations, they're going to have to meet with you. They have to meet with you for you to sell them a house. So if you know nothing else other than have good conversations and ask them to meet, like you're going to do better than probably 90% of agents. Just doing those 2 things. All right. Then create value and close. So you can show confidence through short answers. Notice it's not 20-minute seminars. Right? You heard something taught at some class and then someone asks a question and then you have the opportunity to explain to them all those things. Don't fall into that, guys. Don't fall into the trap of over explaining stuff. Ask questions, give them the answers that you know that they need, and then ask them to meet. This is the missing step to close, right? Transition into the appointment. Don't wait. Don't ask for permission. Lead. I'm going to show you some ways that you can lead here. So, This is a buyer scenario. The buyer says, "Hey, can you send me homes under 600K in Meridian?" Most agents say, "Sure, I'll get that set up for you." Has anyone ever done that?
Yep.
Yeah. How many deals from just doing that?
Maybe one in almost 8 years.
1 in 8 years, Teresa says. I mean, people will buy. This will buy. The problem is you need thousands and thousands and thousands of people. We already do that, guys. The 50,000 people in our database right now, they already have this. So they don't need you for that. The stronger response is like, "Hey, no problem. But before I send homes that may not fit, let's take 15 minutes to dial in payment, community, schools. Are you open to a quick call today?" That's obviously if they're texting you, "Hey, can you send me homes under 600K Meridian?" Right? All right. So what's my home worth? This is like a big one that agents make mistakes. Like, "Hey, can you send me a CMA?" And you want to be helpful. I know all of you want to be helpful. And so you spend half an hour studying comps. You ask people to look at the CMA for you. You get 3 different people to look at the CMA for you. You waste half an hour for 3 other people. And then you email the CMA off and you're just sitting there staring at your computer, rubbing your hands together like, "Oh yeah." Can't wait till they call me and ask me to come list their house. He's not a house squawking. Yeah, that's funny. That's really funny. She was rubbing her hands together like a fly. All right.
You were
She was. The fix. I want to give you a real pricing strategy based on layout and condition rather than guessing. I can walk through the home today or tomorrow, which is better. Notice how you're not giving them options, right? You're giving them options, but you're not leaving it open ended. So the appointment. This is actually an interesting way to shift your mindset. Who's the appointment for? I think most of you think it's for you. You think you're like, "Yeah, I get a number on board. I'm doing what Chase told me to." Right? The appointment is not for you. The appointment is for the client. We've got to shift the way that we look at this. The appointment is for them. It gives them a better answer, a better plan, a better chance of making a good decision. Instead of guesses and generalities over text or phone, they get a real personalized response based on their actual scenario. And by the way, this isn't mentioned here, but a lot of times when you're talking to someone on the phone or via text, are you texting both decision makers? Probably not. Are you on the phone with both decision makers? Probably not. So now you get them both in the same room, right? All right. Stop asking and start leading. I left this in here, even though I don't necessarily like exactly what they're saying. I like the thought process behind it. So these are passive asks. Like, "Do you want to meet? When can I come over? Want to get coffee?" It's kind of like, "Hey, we should hang out soon." It's similar to that. Like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you forever, Erin. We should grab coffee." And she's like, "Yeah." And then we walk away and never talk to each other again until we bump into each other 5 years later and we say, "Oh my God, we should grab coffee." Right? Like, let's get some assertive ask them, right? So instead of, "Do you want to meet?" "Hey, let's sit down for 20 minutes so we can build the right plan before you make decisions. Let's walk through the home and look at the market together so you know exactly where you stand." All right, like I said, I don't really like exactly what they say. I just like the principle behind it. It starts to lead them down the path of appointment. All right. So set the appointment. This is not a future exercise. Do it right now. During this meeting, you have 5 minutes. I like it. Identify one contact. Think of one person you've been helping answering questions. This is an actual thing right now. Who have you been helping answering questions? You've been sending them listings or you've been giving them advice. They asked you about lender and you answered the question. They said, "How much does earnest money have to be?" And you said, "Oh, it should be this." Right? Or like, "How much down do I need to save?" And you said this. Like, think about those people and then draft a message. 3-part structure to write and send your appointment setting message right now. So acknowledge where they're at. So if you're going to text them, which I love, so you can do that in this meeting right now. Show that you understand their current situation. "Hey, I know you were curious about how much money you want to save up." Right? That's the acknowledgement. You guys understand? And then give one reason the appointment benefits them. Make it about their outcome, not your pipeline. So, hey, I know that you guys are looking to save up for your down payment. And there's probably a lot of other questions you don't even know to ask. So, do you have some time that we can get together today at 3 p.m. or would tomorrow morning work better for you? You guys understand the layout? Not complicated. We can send this out too. I don't necessarily like exactly what they're saying, but I love the principle behind all this stuff. Can anyone think of someone they should send this to right now? Elsie's not on it. Josh, not on it. Anyone else? Josh, get out your phone and text something right now. Yeah, go for it. It's probably the best thing to do all that. Francesca, you texting someone? Tara, cool.
What is a person that I want to help?
Tara, that you want to help call. Do it. Send the text. I'm gonna wait until the phones are put down. So if you're not texting, maybe you can think of something to text because other people are gonna get paid. Still seeing phones. So if you're on Zoom and you're not texting, it's okay. I'm still here. We'll give you 1 minute and we'll keep moving. By the way, if you're not doing this right now, really embed this in your head. Like acknowledge where they're at, give them a reason that helps them when they ask. Not super complicated. You can do this via social media, run through your social media. Think about someone who messaged you on social media. Like, oh my God, that's a new house. Or, hey, where's this one located? Or, hey, what's the price of that one? Those are people who are like giving you buying signals. Reach out. All right, let's keep moving. All right, we're 6 months out. So the objection is we're just starting to look. We're probably about 6 months out. So you guys know how I would handle this. What's going to happen in this 6 months? Since blah, blah, blah. That's exactly what I was reading. Now, here's the response they give. That makes sense. 6 months out is a great time to get clear because the decisions you make now affect your options later. Let's do a quick 20-minute strategy call so you know what to watch and avoid. Today or tomorrow we're better. Now, of course, let's handle this for what we're trying to do. Let's do a quick 20-minute meeting at my office. Now, what are my 3 reasons why we meet? Does anyone know? I've said them 7,000 times.
See if I'm good fit to work together, answer all the questions you have, and learn about how to ask. And
Okay. Does anyone know how to say them like exactly the way you should say them? Yeah, say it.
Oh, I know.
Yes, you have. You started.
You got it. I think it's just the order.
All right. I'll say. Well, it's order, but it's also what you're saying too. Okay, because you don't say, hey, let's meet for a buyer consultation so I can answer all the questions you have. Say it out loud.
Even the ones you don't know you have.
Even the ones you don't know to ask. We're also going to set up a custom search so you can see everything on the market and even the homes that aren't on the market. Is tracking there. This is not like a guessing game, guys. This is like very strategically crafted. Because if you say, I'm going to answer all your questions, and they say, I don't have any. You say, I'm going to set a custom search. They're like, I already have on Zillow. You tracking? So we literally handle the objection before it comes up. That's very strategic. So I want you to say it the way I say it until you mastered it, and then say it the way you want to say it. But get those objections handled before they ever get asked. So just a reminder, like, hey, that's exactly why we should meet. Has anyone offered to do a buyer consultation for you, Aaron?
No.
Oh, a lot of times they say, no, what's that? Or be like, you might be wondering what that is. During our buyer consultation, we'll meet for, and this depends on their scenario. If they're a little further out, I'll say a shorter time. We'll meet for like 20 minutes. If they're like right now, I'm like, we're going to meet for half hour. Now, that might be a 40-minute meeting or 50-minute meeting, but I want less friction. So I'm going to say a smaller time. And I'm going to do everything I can to meet that time, by the way. So, during that 20 minutes, Aaron, I'm going to answer all the questions you have, even the ones you don't even know to ask right now. And then the second thing is I'm going to set up a custom search so that you can see everything on the market, and we'll take your search and I'm going to run that against off-market listings. Are you familiar with those?
No.
Oh, we'll go over it when we meet. Right? And then we'll make sure that you and I are a great fit to work with one another. So do you have time today, or tomorrow, or whatever? Right? Okay. Get ready to pass some closings. So that's a pretty aggressive statement. Never say this again. Okay. I like it though. When you have a customer, never say, let me know if you need anything. I fully endorse this. Don't say that. Right? If you have a client, you could say that as a nice way to like walk away from something, but not when you have someone who's looking to buy or sell. It should always end with what the next step is, right? So here's the best next step. Let's map this out. Let's look at the numbers together. Let's get you clear before you make a decision. So stop being a browsing mechanism. Start leading your market. Every serious buyer seller conversation over the next 24 hours must include an appointment at. Have we ever done this, Josie?
Once or twice.
Yeah. And what happens?
It works.
People show up.
No.
Well, people at least agree to meet.
Right.
And if they don't show up, then you start to look at like, okay, what am I doing that I need to change? Right. So I love this, guys, especially you veterans on the call right here. If you do this, you will get more business. Ask people to meet. Anyone who's serious about buying or selling in the next 24 months, ask them to meet. Okay, cool. What's going through your heads? What are some takeaways?
It's our job and duty to be a little bit more directive.
She doesn't need that line. Video.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go
She
ahead.
just need to fill the silence. We're gonna come back to you, Jessica.
Well, and I would say being on Zoom, because I'm rarely on Zoom, you can't even hear them clap. So if you
Okay.
have a mic,
Yeah.
you are not heard. So get a mic if you want to be heard. What I would say about this is what I was thinking while you're talking, because I've been doing buyer consults for whatever. When did we meet?
At a pretty high level.
And I'll be honest, I have chosen to not do some because they were a past client or like, hey, I know these guys, it's okay. The buyer consultation sets so many expectations, just besides the questions you're gonna answer and the ones they don't know they have, and the custom search, the good fit. You get to set expectations for your buyers that protect you, protect them, and it just creates such a great experience. Because when I have chose not to do them, there's always something missed, even with an existing client or they bought 5 homes before. There's always something missed that could have been avoided by doing the buyer consultation. So that would be my pro buyer consultation
I love that.
speech.
Like imagine the foundation of let's say you're a buyer and you know a little bit about building homes. Let's say you built like 3 or 4 homes. Like with builders, you hired a builder and they built homes. And then you go hire a builder, you go to a builder and you're like, hey, I want you to build this home for me on this lot. And they're like, okay, cool. And you're like, well, I've done this a lot. So why don't you go ahead and get the framers out right now and start framing? There's no foundation. Right? Like that obviously is so like clearly asinine, right? But it's kind of like, I mean, it's obviously overblown, but like think about that in our business. They're like, hey, we just want to meet you at the house. And you're like, okay, what are the odds you found the best possible home for you? When you do this once every 10 years and you haven't done it for 10 years, what are the odds you found the exact best home for you? Like it's probably not 100%. Right. So why are we starting there? Why don't we start with like, what do you want? Maybe you have something on the market they want, right? Or maybe you know a way that they can get more, have the same payment they want at a higher price or whatever. Go ahead, Francesca.
No, what I just find so funny when I think back to early on, you're like, how am I going to convince people that I'm like credible? Like I'm new at this. I barely sold much. And so you go in like with this total structure and process that you guys provide with like all of those questions at the buyer consult. And I feel like that's literally the foundation of where I built my business was like taking the buyer consult very seriously and making sure all those questions were asked, and then obviously pre-listing questions and all those things. Like it literally will change your business when they see you take it so seriously, even though you might think like, am I blowing smoke up these people's asses like acting this way? No, like it's actually very directive. They expect it of you. And the more you do it, sometimes you feel like you don't like what you're doing. So you don't have to be as like structured because you're like, I've done this before. Like I've sold so much, we don't have to be boom, boom, boom. But the boom, boom, boom is literally what creates that like really amazing foundation and structure for a seamless, process is what I find.
Well, and I didn't ask this to Rebecca, and I don't need to necessarily, but I'm guessing you could just nod and tell me. But when I transitioned to like making a buyer consultation of 100% requirement deal breaker for me, you don't get to work with me unless you do a buyer consult. I made that transition. I had about 4 of them that I'd done it with, and I had about 4 that I was still showing homes I hadn't done it with. And I had nightmare buyers. And guess which ones were the nightmare buyers? The 4 I didn't meet with. So of all the buyers you've had in the last, whatever, 12, 13, 14 years, like the ones you decided not to do a buyer consult with, did they provide to be a challenge? No, yes. Okay. Yeah, because that's what happens, right? They're like, hey, just show us this house. And you're like, oh yeah, I'll show you the house. And then, all of a sudden, like you have problems. Now, truth be told, some of you at some point might get to the level where you know when someone's serious and not, and you know what questions to ask. Like you're helping Tom out. Did you do a buyer consult?
No.
Okay. And you got him under contract now.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's someone, I mean, it's a different scenario. But like to teach that from up here, like, oh yeah, just feel it out and see what you think. Like, I'm just telling you guys, like, do a buyer consult every time. Until you know you don't need to, I would do it every time, would be my advice. So, okay, let's move on to some gratitude and get out of here on time. Can you give me 2 people from Zoom? We'll do 1 person in here. Anyone want to volunteer for some gratitude today?
I can.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead, Francesca.
Just super grateful for my dad and my husband celebrating Father's Day this weekend. It's just, I wish I could spend more time with my dad. I'm just so, it just makes me emotional to just enjoy your dads. They're around you because mine's getting old. It's a pain in the ass.
Even if they're a pain in the ass.
Mine's good.
Well, and I miss him. That's it.
Yeah, it's a lot of perspective, especially on social media when you see other people post. So that's something. So like, I just made sure that gave my dad lots of love and like all the dads in my world love and enjoy everybody while they're.
Yes.
Love that. All right, let's get 2 on Zoom. Anyone want to volunteer on Zoom?
I'll volunteer on Zoom. I mean, most of you guys know we were blue like 2.5 years ago, and Naomi lost her dad 4 years ago. So Father's Day sick the last number of years has been a pretty sad day for us. This year being my 3rd Father's Day, the first one with the baby on my arms it was a real special day. Like I was working, but I was just walking on sunshine the entire day. Like nothing was breaking my mood down. So I was just real grateful to have that leave this year.
Wow.
That's sweet.
That's awesome. Should
Yeah.
we descend on that?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go cry in my office. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing week, and